Next up here, this is just an interesting article I kind of found that I thought would be interesting to take a look at. I actually haven't looked at the actual information yet, but from A to Ultra, how does the M2 Max and M2 Ultra stack up versus every other Apple chip? This includes the iPhone, the iPad, the Mac, to see what's going on. Because if you didn't know, the Mac Studio is basically the highest end one unless you want faster storage on some PCIe slots, in which case you would get the Mac Studio or Mac Pro for the extra 3K or whatever it is. Insane, but I guess some people want it. So let's just check out some scores here and see what's going on. I'm suspecting none of this is going to be that insane to see here. It'd be interesting if they did have a couple of Intel Macs in here just to see where they stack up, because I do wonder if the M1 is scoring here, and those at the time were a pretty big jump over the Intel versions, if the iPhone 14 Pro would have beat out a couple of them. But everything basically lines up pretty much where you'd expect. The M2 Max actually comes in a little bit lower than you would expect, I guess, compared to the M1. Never mind, the M1 Ultra has more cores, so why? Basically, all this graph is going to tell you here is the more cores it has, the better it's going to do. And as you would also suspect, the A16 Bionic chips are going to do better as well, depending on what you're looking at here. And the same story pretty much here across the board. The more cores, the better things got, even for single core performance. Compute performance, let's see what we get here. Is it the same lineup? It's going to be dang close. We have a little more changing blows, maybe not. Never mind. It's pretty much the same lineup across the board. Not very interesting, actually. But it does at least show you that you're at least getting the bang for the buck, at least out of most of it. Does kind of tell you, though, here that if you did have an M1 chip before, that it probably wasn't worth going to M2. But I think most reviewers said that anyways, so it shouldn't be that shocking.